All right. Shalom, Israel. Yahweh Shem Yahshabarakatham. Yahweh Shemal Thumb by Shem Yahshai. A priest and officer Pariah Allah out of ISUPK, Connecticut. Started off in ISUPK. Started off in Harlem, New York back in 1969. 1 West 125th Street under the tutelage of Commanding General Yahana, and we've been there since 1969 to now, and we're still going strong, stronger. And today we're gonna go into the treatment of this treatment we still getting, even though a lot of these mass murders are going on. We're gonna go into an article about out in New Haven about a police department paralyzing a brother, similar to the Freddie Gray incident that happened a few years back. Um, Understand this: that yesterday was was our oppressors' holiday, the 4th of July. Understand that we had no independence back in 1776. We were still Our ancestors were still picking cotton. Our ancestors were still getting the whips cracked to our backs. To the um, our our foremothers was getting raped and so forth. Understand that that was an independence for our people, the Lord's chosen people, the 12 tribes. Independence was for our oppressor and what they was going through. That had nothing to do with us. We were still getting Our women were still getting raped. Our families were still being torn apart from each other, and we were still picking cotton around that time. So I say that to say that the Lord despised. As a matter of fact, before you go into the article Adamov, go into Amos 5:21. All right.
Canada one car.
Let me know when you got it, brother. All right.
Canada one car.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, we got Trooper Adamov out of Connecticut. He reading right now. Brother, young brother, he doing what he doing. He getting it in. So um so understand that I brought up the 4th of July to just let you know that it's serious when we say we're not supposed to celebrate our oppressors' holidays, because look at all the shootings that went on yesterday. Look at all the shootings that go on when our oppressors have these holidays, Christmas, Thanksgiving, and so forth. Why is it when you see the Passover or a high holy day that we supposed to celebrate, nothing happens to our people? Why is that? I'm sure crimes are committed, things do happen, but nothing at the volume that this goes on in one day. That don't happen because when you come back to the Lord protects you. The Lord puts a hedge around us. But when you're not with the Lord and you turn your back on the Most High, He'll turn His back on you. You know. So go ahead.
The book of Amos, chapter 5, verse 21.
Go ahead, brother.
I despise your feast days.
This is the Lord saying. He says, I despise your feast days. Go ahead.
And I will not smell in your solemn assemblies.
And he
Dollar.
will that and that's it. And I will not smell in your solemn assemblies. That's the Lord saying, yo, look, he said, I hate and despise your feast days. We, black, Hispanic, Native Indians, the Lord's chosen people, there's certain holidays, high holy days that we supposed to celebrate. 4th of July is not one of them. Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter, Halloween, all these paganistic holidays, we are not supposed to celebrate. So why do I say that? Because when you celebrate those holidays, you're turning the back on the Lord. So when things happen, a lot of times it's because you have not came back to the Lord when it happens to our people. Now, given what happened to our people, it doesn't make it right what our oppressor does to us, but understand that when the Lord is he's a jealous father, he's a jealous power. Like any other father that have children out there that turn their back on them and go towards somebody else and call them daddy. The Most High don't like that. The Most High do not like that. So understand that when we do this, things happen to us, and it's going to keep happening to us. You're going to start seeing a high rate of our people dying by the hands of our oppressors or dying from something real tragic. Now, drop that out of mouth. Let me get that article out. Let me get that article because I'm gonna go into this article that happened in Connecticut in New Haven a few days ago, and understand it's a similar incident to what happened to Freddie Gray. But I'm gonna have the brother read the article because understand that the white man's a goddamn devil that the Bible speaks of. Our oppressor is the goddamn devil that the Bible speaks of, right? So, and understand that because you have to be wicked as hell to know to be to do half the things that these red devil dogs do. Now go ahead, read the title and go into it. All right.
Connecticut man left paralyzed after video shows his head being slammed against backup police van. 5 officers placed on leave.
Go ahead. Go into the article,
The,
brother.
the family of a Connecticut man who was severely injured while riding in a police van this month says he was left paralyzed after multiple officers ignored his repeated calls for help.
Keep going.
Randy Cox was handcuffed and incapacitated when police in New Haven dragged him from the back of a vehicle. He was not wearing a seatbelt and his head was slammed against the back of the van when the officer driving it made a sudden stop. And then it says, a disturbing video shows.
Okay, keep going.
His family is now calling for justice and is pursuing damages against the city.
Go
It
ahead.
made me sick to my stomach to treat somebody like that, Cox's sister, Latoya Boomer, told CBS News.
Keep going.
Cox was at a block party on June 19th when police arrived in response to weapons complaint. Officers arrested Cox, who they say is an ex-felon and was carrying a firearm illegally. As they were taking him to jail, authorities say Officer Oscar Diaz was speeding and came to a sudden stop to avoid an accident, causing Cox to hit his head. Help, I can't get up, Cox was heard saying in the video. I can't hear you, the officer replied as the man continued to beg for help. Despite Cox's repeated calls for help, it took the officer almost 4 minutes to check on him before calling an ambulance to meet him at the station. When the van arrived, several other officers were waiting and began berating Cox to get out. "Move your leg. Sit up," one of them said. "Why you not listening, bro? I can't move," Cox replied. "You're not even trying," the officer said.
Right.
About 3 minutes later, they pulled Cox by his feet and dragged him out of the van before forcefully hoisting him into a wheelchair.
Right.
"You drink too much," an officer told him. Cox was processed and dragged into a holding cell about 10 minutes after the van arrived at the police station. "He's perfectly fine," one of the officers said. Cox was placed on the floor where an officer shackled his legs, but he couldn't move as he was paralyzed from the chest down. He remains hospitalized in intensive care. The 5 officers involved have since been placed on paid leave pending an investigation. Mr. Cox was mistreated, Carl Jacobson, New Haven's assistant police chief, said at a recent news conference. "He should have received medical attention immediately. We can't defend anything that was released."
Keep going, yeah.
The mayor's office announced several policy changes following the incident, including installing seatbelts in all police department transport vans and requiring officers to buckle in detainees. Seatbelts were already required in police cruisers. Boomer said she just couldn't finish watching the footage of how officers treated her brother. "At what point in time do you believe someone that's saying, 'I think my neck is broken'?" she said. Civil rights attorney Ben Crump, who is representing Cox's family, said he will seek a civil settlement from the city to cover Cox's medical care and lifelong injuries. "What we want is full justice," he said. "We want criminal accountability for those officers, but we also want to see policy changes."
Okay. All right. That's it on that. Okay. Understand that these cops sat there and paralyzed. The man went in there with handcuffs, walking, and by the time he made it out that police cruiser, he was paralyzed. So you're gonna tell me that in the care of the police officer, now this is the thing. Whatever he was doing, it doesn't make it right. All right. He's an ex-felon. He's rolling around with a illegal firearm, allegedly. Um, but it doesn't warrant the fact that this man went in there walking and now he's paralyzed from the neck down, from the chest down. So understand that you have these mass shootings out here. Every mass shooter that you've seen that was that was white was able to leave getting McDonald's, Burger King, to getting a red carpet after they done committed a crime. Now, take for granted he was rolling around with a legal firearm does not make it right. You have to follow the law. ISUPK under Commanding General Yohana, we follow the laws. We follow the laws of the land. And we also follow what the Most High tells us to do. But we got to obey the laws of the land. And if the laws of the land say you need a permit to roll around with a firearm and he disobey it, then of course, like anybody else, should be punished. But not punished to the point where you can't walk. And then the man said he think his neck is broke. They waited 4 minutes to get him any kind of treatment. So you see, this is not just going on in New Haven. This is going everywhere in these police departments. A lot of stuff that we see Like this incident right here, a lot of this goes on every day. It may not be to the extent of a person uh being paralyzed, but damn near getting injured. And a lot of stuff gets swept under the rug because, for one, a lot of these police officers are wicked. And I'm not taking away from blacks, Hispanic, and Native Indians that join our oppressors police department because they just as wicked. They just as wicked. Because to sit there and to think to drive faster than slam hard on the brakes, first of all, for that police to be going that hard, for this man to break his neck, means he was breaking the law himself, this police officer. And that's what you see a lot. A lot of them breaking the law, speeding, running red lights. The same thing that you get pulled over for and say they not supposed that we're not supposed to do it is the same things that they do. Yet we get ridiculed for not doing that. Now, of course, we supposed to follow the law. But the ones that are enforcing it, shouldn't they be following the law? Shouldn't it be hefty fines? Shouldn't they get points on their license for running lights? Now, of course, if it's an emergency, of course. But he had somebody in the back already. So what was his rush to get back to the precinct? All he had to do was just drive and drive regular. So for him to be speeding, what was that about? I don't know for sure, but from what it says in the article there, it sounds like that was intentional. Don't have the proof, wasn't there. But for him to speed and slam on the brakes like that, I mean, come on. And know that they didn't strap him in. It's crazy. So, all right, I'm going to some scriptures out of mouth. You can put that up, all right?
Cut out on one cop.
All right. I want you to go into Lamentations 5 and 5.
Lamentations 5 and 5.
Yeah,
Cut out on one cop.
let me know when you got that, brother.
I got it. I don't want.
All right.
The book of Lamentations 5 verse 5. Our necks are under persecution. We labor and have no rest.
Our necks are under persecution. We labor and have no rest. Understand that we have no rest. Understand we have work to do. We are constantly getting persecuted. Understand that the white man is a goddamn devil that the Bible speaks of. Right? Our oppressor is a goddamn devil. It's not because of skin color, but it's because of his character. It's because of his how he acts, who he is, how he behaves. His character determines him being a deceiver, right? So understand that look, we have no rest now. It's not time for us to kick our feet back. You know when we can kick our feet back is when we in the kingdom, when we have when there's a shift in authority, when we take back, get out, regain our kingdom back. That's when we can rest. Right now we can't because our oppressors, this is still his kingdom. His kingdom's falling. Barakatah Yahweh Yahweh Shai. But understand that now's not the time. Now is the time to come back to the Most High. Now's the time to come back to the Lord and follow these laws, statutes, and commandments that's set out for us to follow. Because understand this, when you sit there, when you join our oppressors' army, police force, so forth, when you celebrate our oppressors' holidays and you taking on the customs and living like our oppressors, most I don't like that. Let me get Exodus 34 and 14, brother. Let me know when you got it, right?
Got it.
Go ahead.
The book of Exodus, chapter 34, verse 14. For thou shalt worship no other God.
For thou shalt worship no other God. Go ahead.
For the Lord, whose name is jealous, is a jealous God.
For the Most High, whose name is jealous, is a jealous power. Understand, the Most High is not playing. This is not no fun right here. Most High is a jealous power. The Most High will check you. The Most High has mercy on who he wants to have mercy on. Nobody knows. Nobody knows who the Most High will have mercy on. Just understand, when you see the brothers and sisters in ISUPK and the commanding general Yohana, the Lord had mercy on us because he allowed us to open our eyes and come into this truth. He's given us another chance because Lord knows we all done effed up because we was in the world just like our people now. That's why it's our job. When you see us in the streets, when you see us on the internet, our job's to wake our people up. That's our job. The job of an Israelite is to wake our people up, the Lord's people, our brothers and sisters, and bring them back to the Lord. So when you see us out here, it's not because we don't have nothing else better to do. It's because we have love for our people. It's because we fear the Lord, for one. And we love our people. We love our people so much, we want our people to live. That's why we sacrifice, going out to camp and telling our people about ourselves, because the Lord told us to. In these classes, the Lord tells us to awake his people up, because the Lord delights in that. So understand, the Most High is a jealous power. When you sitting there celebrating birthdays, you're celebrating 4th of July, you're celebrating Valentine's Day, all these paganistic holidays, Christmas, Thanksgiving, so forth. Most High don't like that. Most High is jealous. That's why you see people, 4th of July, Lord knows how many fingers and hands got blown off, letting off fireworks. Because we're not supposed to be doing that. We just recently had the Passover down in Florida back in April. Glorious. You want to celebrate something? You want to celebrate independence? That's when the Lord delivered us out of Egypt. That's our independence. And they had all the fireworks. It was so glorious. If you look at the videos, off the chain. That's what we celebrate. We do have high holy days we celebrate. Just not that one. Just not the ones that our oppressors deal with. They don't, they're not a part of our culture. Let them celebrate that. That's their thing. If you Black, Hispanic, or Native Indians, that's not our thing. But we got to wake up. We got to wake up and realize and say to ourselves, why is things still happening to us? Why is this happening to the brother Cox out in New Haven? Why is these mass shootings happening? Why are people losing family members? And it's going to be more of that. It's going to be more of that. You want to know why? Because at the end of the day, the Most High, He wants His children to come back to Him. He wants His children to sit there and say, to hell with these oppressors. They done did enough to us and our people. We need to build back our nation. But you don't, because guess what? The mass shootings go on. Everybody want to kumbaya and do all this, and they want to fall. They want to, they want to fall in. They develop that Stockholm syndrome, where they still want to be up under the oppressors. Understand, ISUPK under Commanding General Yohana, we are free men right here. We are free. We're not slaves to nothing. We slaves, but mentally we're not slaves because we're still in captivity. So we have to slave and work on the plantation. But mentally we're not slaves. We know who we are. Do you know who you are? If you're Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. Okay, Adamov. You there, brother? Okay. And let's go into Baruch 4:1.
Baruch 4:1.
Yeah, let me know when you got that, all right, brother?
I got it.
Okay, we gonna go 4:1 to 6, all right? Go ahead, man.
This is the book of Baruch, chapter 4, verse 1. This is the book of the commandments of the powers.
Right.
In the law that endures forever. All they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die.
Read that again.
This is the book of the commandments of the powers.
This is the book of the commandments of the powers. Go ahead.
In the law that endures forever.
And the law that endured for 4 months?
Forever.
For 4 years?
Forever.
For 100 years?
Forever.
And the law that endureth forever. Go ahead.
All they that keep it shall come to life.
All they that keep it shall die.
Come to life.
They shall drift off.
Come to life.
They shall come to life. But what happened if they don't?
But such as leave it shall die.
But such as leave it shall die. Understand that these commandments is real. These laws, statutes, and commandments is real. If you keep it, you come to life. When you look at the men in the ISUPK and the Commanding General Yohana, the brothers and sisters, we got life. We got to renew ourselves. We got to be reborn again. And when I say that, I'm talking about spiritually. That old person, that old Kuraya Allah, that wasn't Kuraya Allah. I was in that world. He died. I'm no longer doing the things that he was doing. The new man was Kuraya Allah. Kuraya Allah wasn't out in the world. Kuraya Allah is the new man. And so forth. When you see the brothers and sisters in the school, they're new brothers and sisters because the slate was clean. So whatever you was doing, whatever sins you was committing, once you come into this truth and you take that oath and you get your name, your slate is clean. Now the timer starts. But a lot of our people, they don't want to come in because they let their sins weigh them down. They know that they did bad and they feel like they're not worthy of coming in. Look, we all, I know for me, I don't even deserve to be in here. But the Lord had mercy on me, amongst other brothers and sisters in this in ISUPK under Commander General Yohana. So understand that once you come into this truth, your slate is clean. Nobody looks at you as whoever you was back then. What counts will be right then and there when you take that oath. So this is why we say, come on in. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Man and woman up, yo. You want life? You come in here. You want to die? Then keep doing what you're doing. Go ahead. Go to the second verse, brother.
Turn thee, O Jacob, and take hold of it. Walk in the presence of the light thereof, that thou mayest be illuminated.
Go ahead.
Give not thine honor to another, nor the things that are profitable unto thee to a strange nation.
Give not thy honor to another, nor the things that are profitable unto thee to another, to a strange nation. Don't give that love, don't give that attention, don't give that reverence and respect to other nations. Because understand, when you sit there and you celebrate other nations' holidays, that shows that you hate your people, that you do not love the Most High, and you hate your people. When you celebrate these holidays out there, when you sit there and think it's all right to let off fireworks, to Thanksgiving, go sit there and get a turkey and eat and thanks. Understand this, black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, and women as well. When you celebrate Thanksgiving, you are disrespecting your ancestors. That was the slaughter of our ancestors, and that's a slap in the damn face. But a lot of our people, what's the first thing they say so they can try to mask it or hide behind it? They'll turn around and say, "Oh, well, it's family time. It's the time." No, it's not family time. Every damn day is family time. If you come home from work, every damn day is family time. Go ahead, read, brother.
O Israel, happy are we, for things that are pleasing to the power are made known unto us.
Right. Oh, Israel, happy are we, for things that are pleasing to the powers are made known unto us. Right. Because the Lord tells us in here what he likes and what he don't like, what's abomination and what he delights in. But you have to know that if you're reading the Bible and you're in here and you're learning it by professionals. Go ahead, read.
Be of good cheer, my people, the memorial of Israel.
Go ahead.
Ye were sold to the nation, not for your destruction, but because ye moved the power to reign.
Wrath.
Or wrath.
Read that again, brother.
Ye were sold to the nation, not for your destruction, but because ye moved the powers to wrath.
All right. Yeah, hold on 1 second. Just stay on the line. Give me 1 second. Yeah, hello?
Con, you can hear me?
Yeah, Salakia. Salakia. It was a little technical difficulty. Salakia for everybody out there. um, but before you go into that scripture, I'm gonna throw a little shout outs there. Okay. Who we got in the rooms here? We got shout out to Labar Bunyanyam and Yapar Shayara, Yahweh Shema Alatham, Bashim Shai. And who we got? We got we got Gabal Moth out there. Shalom, Yahweh Hashem Yahshabrakatah. And we got ISUPK Connecticut. Shalom, Yahweh Hashem Yahshabrakatah. What's going on? Okay. So we gonna go into a matter of fact, read number 6 again, Salakia.
Verse 6, you were sold to the nation, not for your destruction, but because ye moved the powers to wrath. Ye were delivered unto the enemy.
So this is the Most High. He said, ye were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because ye moved the powers to wrath, ye were delivered unto the enemies. Understand that the Most High, he don't want to destroy us. He loves his people. But understand, just like any unruly child, you got to teach them a lesson after a while. You got to teach your child when they get out of line and they get out of hand. Sometimes you got to show them tough love. And that's what's going on right now. We're being showed tough love for not following these laws, statutes, and commandments that was put out for us. But that time is almost up. As you can see, our oppressors' kingdom is falling. When you see the mass shootings, when you see the climates, the elements destroying cities, when you see these churches getting hit by thunderstorms and lightning and hurricanes, when you've seen all these chain of events going on now, our oppressor's kingdom is coming down. This is why they push all these agendas to distract us and to destroy us. That's why they push the LGBTQ agenda, transgender agendas on our people. Because when our people sin, the Most High is not with us. So if every black, Hispanic, and Native Indian go against the Most High, then the Most High will destroy us. And that's what these devil dogs, our oppressors, think they can do. They think by implementing that and pushing that we, after a while, we don't get any younger. So by our young people trying to push them to be homosexuals and lesbians, they cannot produce kids and make kids. So it's a lot of agendas that's going on there. Now they pushing the weed, they allowing it's legal now for marijuana and so forth. These are things that the Most High don't want us doing. Now, the use of marijuana, if it's used for medicinal purposes, we're allowed to use it. But for leisure, for recreation, just cause we're not supposed to do that with any drug for that matter. We don't just sit there and take a pill because, I just want to feel good today. You take it because you need it, because it's going to help you get better, not because you want to feel good and satisfy your lust. But understand, when things happen to our people, like what happened to the brother Cox out there in New Haven and so forth, and a lot of our people, understand that down the line, when you're still selling drugs to your people, murdering your people, robbing your people, making whores of your sisters, you know, molesting, raping, abusing our young males and females. When you taking advantage, when you being a homosexual, when you being a lesbian, when you pushing this transgenderism onto innocent people, when you sitting here and thinking it's okay to disrespect the Lord, to disrespect what's in the Bible, to sit there eat shrimp, crab, pork, lobster, to sit there and turn your back on the Lord, understand that you're going to die. Only the Lord knows, but your chances is very high. Your chances is very high when you commit these offenses, when you transgress against the Lord. Okay, let me see. Drop that out of mouth. Let me see. As a matter of fact, do 7.
God. Verse 7. For ye provoked him that made you by sacrificing unto devils and not to the power.
Yeah, for ye provoked him that made you by sacrificing unto devils and not the powers. Understand that. Okay, I'm gonna use it in a simple form, in a worldly form. That's like you put time into somebody and turn them into a superstar. You sat there, gave them all your resources. You sat there and took your time, efforts, blood, sweat, and tears to help build this person up from nothing. And now they the biggest mega superstar or biggest athlete or entertainer out there. And they turn around and when they get an award for something, or they get something added to their resume, whether they win a championship or award or something, big award or something, and they turn around and they don't even acknowledge the person that created them. They don't even pay homage to the person that created them, but they give somebody else that credit, like they was the ones that did it. How you think that person's gonna feel? How you think you would feel if that was you in the in those in that predicament? You feel jacked up. You would be like, hold up, wow, you'd be highly upset. Well, I don't want it's somewhat similar, but it's not exactly similar, but it's on those lines right there. Or I'll use a better scenario. You have children and they go run and call somebody else daddy, knowing that you've been sitting there giving them food, clothing, shelter, and they run and call somebody else daddy. You're not gonna be happy. You're gonna nip that in the bud. That's gonna like radiate through you to your last fiber, the last fiber in your body, and you're gonna be tight. So just imagine the Lord. When you sit there, He done delivered, He done saved us, He done did everything for us. And then we turn around and we worshiping another God, thinking that these idols have more precedence off of our powers, the Most High. Boy, I tell you, if you're Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, your best bet will be is to come back to the Lord. Your best bet is, especially given what's going on now, understand that our oppressor is the goddamn devil that the Bible speaks of. These red devil dogs don't care about us. They have a perpetual hatred towards us. How you know? Turn on the news. Look at the article I read. Look at what's going on when these mass shootings when they are when they are white, they get the red carpet treatment. Yet our people are still getting the dog crap beat out of them or mistreated or mishandled to the point where is damn you is inhumane, you know. So understand that. Let me get Leviticus 26 and 31. Let me get 26 and 31. Okay, yeah.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 26, verse 31. And I will make your cities waste.
Salakia. Hold on, no. Let me get start at 30.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 26, verse 30. And I will destroy your high places and cut down your images and cast your carcasses upon the carcasses of your idols.
Mm-hmm.
And my soul shall abhor you.
Keep going.
And I will make your cities waste and bring your sanctuaries unto desolation. And I will not smell the savor of your sweet odors.
Go to 32.
And I will bring the land into desolation, and your enemies which dwell therein shall be astonished at it.
33.
And I will scatter you among the heathen, and I will draw out a sword after you, and your land shall be desolate.
Okay. Go ahead.
And your cities waste.
Right, Salakia. So understand that the Most High, this is the end result of not following the Most High, of us being stripped of our kingdom, stripped to the point where these devil dogs sit in our face and claim our culture. These Amalek, red, dirty, filthy bastards, turn around and call themselves the Jews. Disrespect us, taking our culture, or trying to at least. So now we in a land. The Lord left us desolate. The Lord left us like, yo, we don't have a home. Most High put us out in the street, evicted us from our kingdom. But the beautiful thing is he's gonna give us back the kingdom. But we got to come back to him. Okay, let me drop that. Because you got to understand, a lot of our people, even with the cop there, he sounded like he was Northern Tribe, Diaz, but he understand that for him to do that to another brother, whether he Hispanic or Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, the fact that he did that shows that he hate his people. He shows that he hate the Lord's people and that he's an ass kisser for his master. Because understand that any Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian that's on the police force, that's in the military, you just a good boy to your masters because you're not getting no say so up in there. They're making sure that you're just gonna be a good old boy or good old girl if you're Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian up in there. You gotta understand that the white man's a goddamn devil that the Bible speaks of. You gotta understand that no matter how much they smile in your face and act like they're with you, they're not with you. Because as much they'll act like they're your best friends up until it's time to make a decision on them having to speak out against a white person offending you being Black or Hispanic or Native Indian, and them getting their counterpart locked up. Let me get Ecclesiasticus 12 and 10.
Ecclesiastes or Ecclesiastica, Salakia?
Ecclesiastes. Hold on. No. Ecclesiasticus. Excuse me. Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha.
What was the chapter and verse out of one?
12 and 10.
12 and 10. I'm ready.
Let me know when you got it. Okay.
I'm ready.
Okay. Go ahead.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 12, verse 10. Never trust thine enemy.
Never trust thine enemy. Go ahead.
For like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness.
Never trust thine enemy. For like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness. Understand that these red bastards are some rusty, dusty, old, decrepit, wicked, bloodthirsty, vile beast. Scriptures tell you never trust thy enemy. Newsflash: for if you Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian and think that you have white friends that actually care about you, what does the scripture say?
Never trust thine enemy.
Oh, sometimes trust your enemy.
Never trust thine enemy.
Never trust thy enemy. Never, ever, ever trust your enemy. Why? Because for like iron rusted, so is his wickedness. Let's face it, the white man's a wicked, vile bastard, a thieving bastard, a homosexual, a transgender, you name it. Everything that this country is doing is him in a nutshell. It's Christianity. It's the worship of Caesar Borgia. This country's characteristics is based off of Caesar Borgia and his characteristics. Okay, let me get Lamentations 4 and 18. Anything you want to say? Anything you want to say? You want to add to that? Adamov? You sure? All right, no sweat, brother. All right. Adamov doing his thing up in here. He getting it in, getting his reading in, getting his time put in. That's what's up, man. Let me know when you got it, brother.
The Book of Lamentations, chapter 4, verse 18. They hunt our steps.
They hunt our steps. They hunt our steps. Everywhere we walk. You go to the store, look what happened to Trayvon Martin. Look what happened to what was that? Mike Brown. Everywhere we go, they hunt our steps. Go ahead.
That we cannot go in our streets.
That we can't go in our own streets. When you go into Harlem, when you go into a lot of the neighborhoods that was chocolate, right? We was able to all hours of the night go to the bodegas, go chill out on the park on benches in front of our buildings in the projects and so forth. Now with all this gentrification, you can't even hang out nowhere. Why? Because they hunt our steps that we cannot go in our streets. Go ahead.
Our end is near. Our days are fulfilled, for our end is come.
And our end is near. What's our end? The end of this wicked, the end of the curse, the curses that was put on us, the end of slavery, the end of us having to deal with these filthy heathens over us. Because our days are fulfilled, we paid our time's almost up, and our end is to come. Our end is come, and our end, once it's up, guess what's happening? You guessed it. Our kingdom. We get the kingdom back. We get to rule over this entire earth righteously. It will be much order on the face of this earth. Okay, drop that. As a matter of fact, go to 19. Read 19.
Our prosecutors are swifter than the eagles of the heaven. Eagles of the heaven. They pursued us upon the mountains. They laid wait for us in the wilderness.
Again?
Our persecutors.
Okay.
Our persecutors are swifter than the eagles of the heaven.
Mm-hmm.
They pursued us upon the mountains. They laid wait for us in the wilderness.
Yes. Our persecutors are swifter than the eagle of the heaven. They pursue us upon the mountains. They lay wait for us in the wilderness. Yes. Our persecutors. Who's our persecutors? These red devil dogs, these heathens that sit there and persecute every black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. And these house niggas that think that our oppressors love them and accept them. Understand that the Lord got something for y'all too. You need to repent. You need to really ask the Lord for forgiveness. And you need to come back home if you're black, Hispanic, or Native Indian. But like 19 said, Lamentations 4:19, our persecutors are swifter than the eagles of the heaven. They're swift, they're on point. They have kill on their mind. So they calculating our every steps to try to destroy us as a nation, destroy us as a people. Lord's not having that. The Lord's the only thing that's stopping them from destroying us completely as a people. That's the only thing that's stopping these red devil dogs from doing away with us completely. But you see, when you look at cats, blacks, and Hispanics that's on the police force, that's in the army, that's working for our oppressors, they think because they got a couple of dollars that everything's all love, everything's good, everything's great. It don't work like that. It don't work like that. It don't work like that. Understand that the white man's a goddamn devil. He's a red bastard. He's a devil dog. He do not love black, Hispanic, or Native Indians. He, she, them, they. They don't love us at all. And that's fine because they love themselves, which is great. But you know what's the problem with us? Is we have to take that same thing on. We have to love ourselves, love our people. When I say our people, I'm talking about the blacks, Hispanic, and Native Indians, the 12 tribes, from all the way from the so-called Negroes all the way down to the so-called Mexicans and all the Spanish countries in South and Central America, the North American Indians, the Gadites, the Hispanic Dominicans, the Puerto Ricans, Cubans, the Lord's chosen people from Negro and Indian descent. I'm not talking about none of these Europeans. I'm talking about the indigenous, the Tahinos. Let me get one more scripture. Ecclesiastes 7:7. Yeah. Because the problem with our people and what's going on with our people is that all you gotta do is just bird feed us, throw us some crumbs. Just a couple crumbs more than what we normally get, and we get swayed easily. It's a problem with our people, you know? Go ahead, brother.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, verse 7. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart.
Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad. When you see us out there in the street corners, in every city across the country, the four corners of the earth, and you see us, we're mad as hell because we're seeing our people walking around oblivious to what's going on. And we see that the oppression that's going on with our people, when our people getting killed, shot, murdered at the hands of our oppressors. It makes us angry as hell to see the young brother up in New Haven getting paralyzed because of some dickhead, excuse my French, some asshole cop that calls himself being a smart ass. And a gift destroyed the heart because all it takes, like I said, is a couple dollars extra in a lot of our paychecks, and we will turn. A lot of us will turn on our own mamas for a few dollars extra because that's just the nature of how our people are now, enslaved. Prime example, look at the exonerated five. It was one of the brothers where his father turned his back on his son when his son needed him the most because of a job. And if anybody's familiar with that story, his father ended up losing the job anyway and lost his son because his son had no respect for him when his son needed him the most. But because of a job making a few dollars more, he didn't even want to sacrifice being there for his son. You could always get another job, but because he was a slave to that master, to them devil dogs. Anything you want to say, Adamov? You want to elaborate on that or something? Or
I was gonna bring up the story on how they chase our footsteps. I forgot the guy's name, but he was going on a jog, and the two white devils chased him down and like shot him with a shotgun.
oh yes, Ahmaud Aubrey.
Kind of know what kind of him.
Yes,
They
right,
literally chased him.
right. Yo, you know what? We could sit here for about another damn near 12 hours and go down a whole list of a lot of our people that was chased down, that Steps was hunted, Ahmaud Aubrey, and so forth, George Floyd, you know, and George Floyd got murdered national TV, you know. So understand that these red bastards don't care about us because, again, like I've said back then and I say now, if white people were so much with the being humane and all about life, for one, a lot of them wouldn't be pushing that abortion, for one. For two, if they were so stuck on being humane, where's the white coalitions, foundations, and all that for stopping the mistreatment of Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians? Where are these organizations? They're nowhere around because white people only care about white people. And that's fine. They supposed to. So don't come to me if you Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian talking about, oh, the white people are cool, white people. You know what I'm going to tell you? Excuse my French, Salakia, but shut the fuck up. Excuse my French. Because there's nothing you can tell me where in the scriptures it tells you to never, never trust thine enemy. But a lot of you Uncle Tom sellout coons turn around. White people not bad. Oh, we just a hate group and we just hate. Yeah, you know what? We do hate. We hate the way our people are being mistreated. We hate the fact that our people could get slaughtered on TV and nothing happens by the hands of our oppressors. Yes, we hate the fact that when we trying to wake our people up, we get labeled as a hate group. A hate group to the point where our oppressors try to label us like we going around harming people. Let's make one thing clear. We don't give a damn about none of these other nations, but understand, any one of these other nations try to mess with us, we're not a Christian group. We're not a Christian group at all. So understand, when you come at us, you better come correct. We're not a Christian group. But what I will say is that we are for our people. We are priests and prophets of the Lord. We follow these laws, statutes, and commandments. We follow the laws of the land. But understand that we also are defenders of the truth and defenders of our lives. So if our lives is in danger, may the Lord be with you. That's my time. I'm Precinct Officer Kuraya Allah out of ISUPK, Connecticut. Shalom. Yahweh Shem Yashabra Katham. Yahweh Shema Al Thum Bashem Yashai. Shalom.